Here's a review of the 2016 Honda Pilot. It's an awesome car. Hit that subscribe button so I can give you more awesome videos of cars like these in the future. Let's get to the intro. As you guys can tell, it's raining pretty well out here, so I'm going to keep the walk around fairly short. The 2016 third generation Honda Pilot, I think it looks awesome. It's the best Honda Pilot in terms of looks. It's not so boxy as it used to be. The headlights look great, in my opinion. You have this huge chrome piece at the top and then two more below it. It's simple, guys. It's elegant. I think it looks better than the MDX in general. The headlights on the MDX look 10 times better, but in general I like the styling of this car, and it's raining hard, so I'm gonna be quick. The wheels, typical Honda, but they're gonna be just fine. I like the styling of them. Conservative, a tiny bit sporty, but you know, this car is not known for being sporty. It's known for utility and moving massive amounts of people. I like the window line. It looks good. Again, it's not as boxy as it used to be. There's some good strong lines in there. Sorry about the unfocusing. The rear taillights, no nonsense. They're simple. That's all I can say about it. But it's simple. As you guys know, I really like simple cars because they tend to work very, very well. The back end here, I actually like this back end better than the RAV4. No, sorry, the 4Runner that I reviewed the other day. And look how big that rear windshield is. It's just huge. I don't see any exhaust ports back there, but overall, I just like the simplicity of this vehicle. And it carries in on the inside as well. But let's get and pop that hood, guys. This car actually has a real manageable and accessible hood latch, unlike the MDX and the CR-V. Okay, there are no shocks on this hood, so I'm gonna have to hold it up because I have to hold the camera in my hand and hold it up in the other. So we have a Honda Earth Dreams IV Tech. I actually like the interior of this. I'm pretty hard on vehicles for the layout, not so much the layout because there's only so much you can do, but how it's presented. You know, when I pop up open this hood, it looks really good. When I pop open the hood of the CR-V, man, that thing was hideous. I love the car, but you know, opening the hood was just ugly as you know what. But inside here, it looks really good. So props to you guys, Honda. It looks better than that 4Runner that I was in the other day. But that car actually had two shocks to hold up the hood. This thing just has a stick. So a little disappointing there. I wish they would put some shocks, but otherwise I'd give this a pretty good job by Honda. Let's get on the inside of this 2016 Honda Pilot. Oh, it's raining pretty good out there, guys. So let's get this started. So it's extremely roomy in here. Of course, like the MDX I reviewed, guys, there's a lot of space in here. It's very cavernous. That's the first thing I noticed when I get in here. The MDX has a little bit better materials on the door, but not by much. If I remember right, in the MDX, there's a lot of plastic in there, and I was a little bit disappointed. And this vehicle, knowing that it's a Honda, I'm expecting it to have, you know, more plastic-like materials, and I'm happy about that because that's what I was expecting. It seems very clean in here, but let's start breaking it down. Up here on the door, your front two are automatic, your back ones are not. Window lock and door lock. A little bit of soft touch here, not much. This is much softer down here. I don't know if that's leather or not. It doesn't feel quite like our Lexus leather, but nothing really does. And then you have a little ledge here for storage, a pocket here for storage. We have the rear hatch and the gas here, and thank the Honda heavens and gods, because guys, the hood hatch or latch or release, whatever you want to call it, is actually visible, and it's huge. On the MDX, it's like tucked away on the side, like right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's tucked away on the side. You can't see it, so I had to look up on YouTube like where the hatch is on the MDX. Anyways, the mirrors, this is the same button that they have on the MDX. If I remember right, the MDX, it seemed like it was over here, but up here on the Honda, it's up here. Traction control, now this is more of a base option. I'm sure you would have maybe, you know, your differential lock down here. Has an economy mode just like the MDX. I don't know why you would use it, but you have it. Going to the steering wheel. I like the steering wheel, good feel. It seems like the materials would hold up really well over time. You have your voice control, your phone options here, your menu. Let's start it up, guys. Let's start it up so we can see what those menu buttons do. Let's see what the screens look like. Okay. Now, if you guys have seen my Honda CR-V review, I really liked the infotainment display on that car, and this one looks pretty similar. It's cycling through menus right now. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's just press home. But it's very simple navigation. All the buttons are very large, easy to touch. Just press navigation, that's gonna pop up. Where to? Let's just click the map. Yeah, I just like it. It's very simple and straightforward. Menu button. Yeah, we could do lots of things there, but home and menu are kind of the same. Menu will bring up the options for that particular app that you're in. So if I'm in phone and I pull up menu here, okay, it's gonna ask me if I want to connect my phone. But menu is like options for that particular app you have pulled up. Home is going to be your menu or your home page. I don't know if that makes sense, hopefully. So this lights up red to stop the engine. I believe it's green or blue when you turn it on, so that's pretty cool. Back to the steering wheel. So we have these buttons here. I'm just going to see if I can cycle through. Okay, so I'm pressing left and right here for the information. And just like in the CR-V, I'm not quite sure how to access the center screen. So I'm pressing these buttons, as you can see, and nothing's changing on that center screen at all, other than power off. Oh, holy cow. Guys, does it control? Okay, so this button cycles through your three main apps here. So if I press this menu button, it's going to go to your phone. If I press it again, it's going to go to your radio. And there you go, back to navigation. So that's kind of cool. This main screen here in the middle, I'm not quite sure how to access it. I had difficulty with that in the CR-V, but let's not get hung up on that. I just noticed the huge speedometer here as well. There's not a speedometer in the traditional sense on a gauge. It's all digital, but the tachometer is your normal gauge right there. Back to the steering wheel, your Honda logo, plastic in the middle that kind of looks like leather. What is it? This is your cruise control, I'm assuming. All right, actually, I found it out, guys. This controls everything on the screen. Some of you Honda Pilot owners are probably like, gosh, this guy's an idiot. It's those other buttons on the other side. So this controls everything here. We're gonna go up, compass, fuel economy, and range. What's the difference between these two? Oh, trip A, trip B. There you go. So oil life, look at that, guys. Fresh oil change. You like that? You like that? But that's it. This is your cruise control, and you just press that, and then you press that to set it, etc. Lights here, windshield wipers here. That's about it for the steering wheel. Heated seats, guys. We have heated seats. I love how everything is labeled very well in the Honda. I wish, I would see it more in our Lexus products, but you can see here that also tells you the amperage on there, which, this is going to be your fast charger. Even 1.5 is more than 1, obviously. 1 is kind of standard. So some high output amperage here on the USBs for fast charging, and then 180 watt 12 volt, which is a decent power supply. You have a nice little slot here. Very, very clear LCD there for the climate control. And then you have your hazards right there. But I just like how it's simple, it's easy, easy to use, and very straightforward with everything here. It doesn't look like there's a way to close these center air vents, but you can close the edge air vents on each side. The other door is identical to this one in terms of design. Here's a huge little container. Guys, I like this quite a bit because in most cars you have this big armrest that folds up and then it's always in the way. This just kind of slides in and out. I like that. Again, you have another fast charging USB port down here, and then another 180 watt 12 volt down here as well. And you have this little sliding compartment here. Cup holders right here. Nothing special there, pretty straightforward. And you have a little space here for your, I don't know, your phone, if you want to put your phone there. I would probably put my phone here like all the time. Look at this nice space. I might slide around a bit because it is pretty smooth. I'm not quite sure what this button does. Okay, so now I do your traction management. So we're just on normal. We're not going to be going off-road or anything, but it's nice to have electric traction control. Over here on the side here, this is a overdrive cancel, so it looks like it would keep it in 4 gears instead of the 6 gears in this car. This car does come with a 9-speed in the higher trims, 9-speed automatic. And then you also have these nice armrests here for the drivers. They feel kind of cheap. They're really small, but they get the job done. Up here is a fairly nice size sunroof. It's very wide, but it's kind of skinny. And then here you have your cabin mirror. I love these things. I first saw it on a GX 460 that we have. It's cool. And then your sunglasses are going to be hidden up there. How am I looking today, guys? Hey, I cut my own hair today. I might need to tame it back. It's a little long up top. I cut it pretty short on the sides, but it is what it is. I don't really care that much. It's a free haircut. Here we have your controls to open up the moonroof and the sunroof. Okay, lighted vanity. I like to fold the seat down and makes it really, really easy to get in that third row. Gosh, guys, I'm just gonna jump into this third row and see what it's like. Okay, the MDX is real spacey, but this car actually it's an 8-seater, so it's big. Oh my gosh, look how much leg room I have back here. This is phenomenal. I'm kind of flabbergasted. This is really, really good leg space back here. Now you can see the seat in front of me it could slide further back as well. But in the third row, guys, I'm really impressed with how comfortable the seats are and how much space there is back here for your legs. So let's talk about some of the amenities back here. There's not that much going on. You have some vents that you can spin around, so I like that. Good cup holder, nice armrest here. You could fit a really small person here in the middle. But these back seats are actually pretty large, and I am impressed, I must say. You can also fold these down, of course. I'm assuming this would do it. Okay, now I probably need to fold this forward somehow. Which there's a big strap back here to do that. And then I'm gonna pull this, fold that down. And we're gonna have some good space back here once all the seats are folded down, which we will get into a little bit later. We have a light back here. I'm just gonna put it on door mode, off on door mode. Looks like there's a microphone back here. If that's not a microphone, let me know what it is. We have cabin lights back here as well. But that sums it up for the third row seat. But let's backtrack and let's get into that second row seat. To do that, we're gonna press this button here, and it's gonna slide that forward. I'm gonna open up the door. Now guys, I'm pretty tall, I'm 6'1", and it's pretty easy for me to get out of here. Now I am extremely limber, and it's easy for me to move around, but I'm gonna get into this seat here and close the door. Okay, so I don't have a lot of room right now. I'm gonna move this seat back. There's a lever underneath me, and I'm just gonna move that seat back. Okay, so second row seating, it's not as much as I was hoping, But in doing so, you know, I can slide that back even more. And in doing so, they made an actual functional third row. So they sacrificed just a little bit of leg room in the second row. You can see how much space there is in the first row, but in the second row, there's just a little bit of sacrifice in terms of second row space, so they could get a really functional third row. So I can't fault them for that at all. We actually have a climate control back here, so I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. Nice little nugget down here. Now I am kind of surprised that there are no USB ports or 12 volt hookups back here that I see. I don't see anything like that. So that is kind of disappointing. I believe the MDX did have those hookups in the back. So I know I'm not 100% positive, but I don't see why in the higher trims of the Honda Pilot that they wouldn't have more electric hookups back there. But it's just kind of funny that I've seen in so many cars, they have USB or 12 volt down here and just vents, and they don't even mess with, you know, second row climate control. So it's funny that you have an advanced second row climate control and no connectivity. But the seats overall, they are comfortable. They are comfortable in the front seat as well. I didn't mention that. They are comfortable. I like how this is all leather backing back here. So if my knees had to like sink into here, guys, it's comfortable. It's no problem. Let's see if this seat reclines. It does recline just in the slightest bit, so I am leaning back. So this is a fairly comfy ride. A couple cup holders here. Guys, let's count how many cup holders are in this car. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 10 cup holders in this car, and this is a 10-seater car. So you have a cup holder for 2 people up there. So that's pretty cool. But that's about it. Let's get into the very back. I'm gonna get soaked, but I just want to see here. I'm not even gonna get back there. So we can close down. Before we do, guys, remember that strap back here? We're gonna close down this third row, and this is gonna give you an idea of the space back here. There's quite a bit of space, and you could also fold down this second row as well. Hey, you know how I was talking about there's not a 12 volt in the back? There is, but it's behind the third row. It is behind the third row. You can see there's a speaker on this side, but not much going on back here. Once the seats are folded down, you can see the all-weather mats of this car kind of lined up back here as well. But that's about it. I'm gonna leave that third row down just because I don't feel like putting it back up. But that kind of sums it up for the interior, guys. I'm impressed with the space of the interior, the functionality of it. I wish I had a little bit more connectivity because I kind of expected that from Honda at this point. But overall, I would give it a solid B+ or an A-. Nice job, Honda. On the 2016 and the 2019, everything up here is going to be redone. So it's really exciting to see them continuing to push and not get, you know, because this car is already a winning formula. They could just be like, oh, okay, you know, we're just going to maximize our profits. But no, they're continuing to push and evolve their technology and making the best product possible. So nice job, Honda, on the interior version of the car. And of course for the 2019, which I hope to one day get my hands on. All right, let's get this ball rolling here, guys. Again, we're in the 2016 Honda Pilot. This is the first year of the third generation, like I mentioned earlier. The visibility, just starting off here, guys, the visibility is really good in this car. I don't know if it's the best I've seen, but I would give it an A+. The only other vehicle that might be better in terms of visibility is like the Toyota Prius V. That car was crazy with its visibility. This one, it's pretty good as well, but it doesn't have the panoramic sunroof in this one. You can get it in higher trims, but this one is not one of those higher trims, so you can't. It's not quite as bright. But man, this windshield is enormous. I can see everything very, very easily. And the windows on all sides are large. And the dash lights up green, just like the CR-V does when you're driving in eco mode, or Not necessarily, because there's that eco mode button that I showed earlier, but just when like you're in a fuel saving type of driving, you know, you're not getting into the gas too much, the dash lights up green. You know, some people might not like that. And then when you come to a complete stop, it just goes back to white. You don't really notice the white, but you definitely notice the green when you are getting off the throttle. Here is the dash. I mentioned when I get off the throttle a bit, it turns green on the edges. So that is that it's just allowing me, or it's just letting me know that I'm driving somewhat economically friendly. All right, I'm driving in an economy-like mode. Now I'm gonna press the green button down here that says Econ. It says Econ on here, and when I did that, I was going uphill here. You can see there's a hill. Maybe you can't, but I'm going uphill here, and the car like instantly slowed down. So throttle on with the eco button mode on is like, you can see this semi's passing me, and I didn't change anything with my foot pressure, except the computers with the economy mode on were just like, okay, you can hear how freaking loud not only that semi is, but the road noise in this car, it is much louder than an Acura. Yeah, economy mode, I don't ever recommend using it because the car feels like it has like half the horsepower than it normally does. Pick up and go, it feels pretty good. It's similar to the MDX, right? It's the same motor, it's the same basic car as an MDX, but we're just going to get onto the freeway here and just kind of see how it's going to accelerate for us. Now this has the 6-speed automatic transmission. You can get the 9-speed automatic transmission, which comes in the higher trims, but you know, I don't see any need for it because in the higher trims, with that 9-speed transmission, you're only getting like 1 or 2 miles per gallon more, and you're probably paying several $1,000s more for those high trims. In those higher trims, you're going to get that, like I said, the better transmission. You're going to get a panoramic sunroof, but really, you can only enjoy a panoramic sunroof if you have people in the second or third row. So, which most of you are going to have people in the second, third row because that's why you're buying this vehicle. It is a people mover. It's plain and simple. It has lots of space. It's fairly economic for the size of the vehicle. Has a decent amount of power. Unfortunately, you can't tow a whole lot with this vehicle. I want to say I saw it was like 1,500 pounds of towing capacity, which is not a whole lot. So you might have to step up to a V8 or something in a different vehicle altogether, or a big truck or something. But like I said, you're gonna have enough power if all you're doing is just moving people around or putting same things in here and driving around. You're gonna have plenty of power for that. This car, now that I'm driving it on the interstate, it is pretty loud on the interior. The rain is fairly loud. You guys can probably hear that. I'll be quiet so you can hear the rain. I'm going about 45 miles an hour. So you can hear the rain. When cars go by, it's a little bit louder than I'm used to in a Lexus, right? Lexus is very, very well known for their quality and the silence in their cabins and just overall quietness and comfortability. This car does a good job for what it is, and I can't fault it too much. I'd probably give it, you know, like a B- in terms of road noise. But whenever you have a vehicle this big, I feel like, and the materials in here are all plasticky. And you can hear this truck passing me. It's kind of loud. Since the materials in here are kind of plasticky, it's going to reverberate the noises from all around you. So it is what it is. If this vehicle was clad in leather and soft touch materials, I'm sure it'd be quieter. But you know, if you want something like that, grab an MDX, because I'm sure you can get a little bit. Now it's not much. It's a little bit higher quality. But if it was me and I was in the market, if you saw my MDX video, you know that I'm picking the Honda Pilot every single time. And for me, there's no reason to ever pick an MDX unless you just want an Acura or you like the service of Acura over a Honda. But if you want a big vehicle with a third row, and this vehicle, guys, also you can put 8 people in here. Now, a couple of those people are going to have to be small, but you can fit 8 people in here. When the MDX, I believe the max capacity is 7. So you have that to consider as well. You can stuff an extra person here, albeit small, over the MDX. The quality materials to me is the same, and this isn't even a higher end Honda Pilot. So you guys do your research, find out which one you would like better if you're in the market. I would pick the Honda Pilot over the MDX every single time. We have our braking test coming up, guys. I'm not going to push it too hard because it's raining, as you can tell. Maybe you can't tell, but it's raining pretty hard. So we're going to get on the brakes a little bit early. I'll just kind of be able to tell you the feel of the brakes. Okay. I'm feeling the brakes. I'll let you know how it feels once I'm done braking. Okay, the brakes are very, very good for the first like 2/3 of the brake pedal travel. It's very linear, and I feel like the last third is kind of dead in feeling. But I'd say the brakes overall for a vehicle this size, I'd give them like a B. Let's get into the throttle a bit. I mean, she moves pretty good. She moves for pretty good for a vehicle of this size, and it doesn't have the world's most powerful V6, 3.5 liter, 280 horsepower, but it's enough. Now, when you have this car loaded up, it might not be quite enough for you, but for me, it's plenty. Now we're in the twisties a little bit. I'm just going to keep the camera on me, guys, but if you've seen my other video, you know where I'm at. Get into the park. So it took the first turn pretty well in this hairpin type turn here. And again, guys, it's wet, and so I'm not going to push it too hard. But yeah, it held up just fine, and for what it is, I'm pretty impressed. It feels just like the MDX, because why wouldn't it? And it does have an all-wheel drive system that's pretty darn good. Wow, there's no one here at the lake, guys. There's no one here. I'm gonna have to show you just a second. I think there's one person here out on the dock. Here, let me turn off the wipers. That's probably a little distracting. But yeah, there's one vehicle here. I've never seen just one vehicle out here before. So if you guys want some peace and quiet and you're in the Omaha area and it's a rainy day, just come out to this lake. There's no one here. And it's actually it's pretty out. The geese are liking it. I don't know if you see that goose up there. Silly goose. But we're gonna get out to oh, there's a flock of geese. Can we see that? Let's see here. See those silly geese? So silly. They're so silly. But that's it, guys, for the 2016 Honda Pilot. It's a great vehicle. If you're in the market, a used one's going to be amazing. They are redesigning this. Well, not so much redesign. They're facelifting it for the 2019 year. They're going to add some technology, I think, from the Honda Odyssey. But this car, as it is, it's amazing. It's simple. It's functional. Good visibility. Good fuel economy for what it is. Tons of space. You can fit 8 people in here. It's just a great car. So if you're in the market, definitely check out a Honda Pilot. Especially this body style looks really good for the 3rd generation. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the comments below.